Hey, I want
Crazy.
to ask you a question regarding you linking empathy with PTSD, because I've
Mm,
actually been thinking that also. And you're the first person that's actually, not that you're the only other person on the panel on this thing that has thought that before, but the only person that has said it out loud, that they're linked. Can you tell us a little more about that?
yeah, well, post-traumatic stress disorder, right? It's something that stays with you and stays with you on a core level. And so, especially if this happened when we were very young, not necessarily, but most of times. Um, and more precisely, if we have a deep emotional reaction whilst a certain event happens, that creates a PTSD, like we're left with it. And so if this is happening before, like in the pre-puberty, childish pre-puberty time frame, you develop empathy, as in you learn your brain, because we don't really have that filtering out, um, cognitive processes are not yet fully developed, and we also don't have the hormones. We learn very quickly to adapt to, it's a natural reaction. You know how babies kind of cry when they're hungry and like they giggle when they're happy, so they can't really express. It comes in form of natural instinct slash adaptation, as in, okay, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to think, I don't know how to react, so instead I will learn very quickly to read the reactions of other people and the energies and like really know how they are. And that as an adult, when our cognitive processes fully develop and we become adults, that translates into, yeah, I can read somebody very quickly, I know exactly kind of where they're at. And not most times we don't really know, like, how are you an empath, like, because right, you can't really pinpoint. And trust me, I've studied a lot of psychology and I've read a lot of books, and still, like, even the physiognomy or the gestures or the NLP, because some people say, like, if you're looking this, if you're doing these
Yeah.
gestures, that doesn't necessarily apply. And I do this all the time.
I remember when I first learned that with NLP, and I was so aware of like where people's eyes were. It actually
Mhm.
totally messed me up because
Yeah,
I'm like, it didn't always, it doesn't, it's not always real. It's not always the truth.
it's not. Somebody told me, because actually the setting, I have two lights over here, and normally I would look, because I have very glasses, and normally I would look in the corner when there's less light, because like the lights are popping right into my face, which means I'm shy, which I'm actually not. And somebody asked me, like, why do you keep looking there? I'm like, because that is the darkest corner of my room and my eyes need to rest for a second. So I would look like in that corner. So I will always look for the darkest place. It's very easy to, doesn't necessarily apply. And
Yeah.
actually, they did a test with the FBI, and they came to the conclusion that about 30 to 40% of these behaviors, let's call them, actually are relevant
Wow.
and give away the reaction. Also, micro gestures as well. It's not, that's just a tiny little bit.
Yeah, definitely.